Welcome to the Newbie Mix Coaching Guide. This guide is also available in text form on the teamfortress.tv forums. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this guide, please post on the tftv thread or contact an admin. You should enable annotations on this video, as we will be making corrections and modifications as we get feedback from our coaches, admins, and most importantly, players. There are two places you can go to add up as a coach in Newbie Mixes. There's the Coaches channel in the drafting zone, where you can interact with the newbies, along with the Coaches Lounge, where coaches can go to talk to other coaches privately or their friends, or they can also sit in a quiet channel, where the only people that will talk to them are admins looking for coaches. Once a mix of newbies has been drafted, an admin will come in to ask who wants to coach. We'll pick two coaches based on their skill level and how long they've been waiting in the mumble. You'll be dragged where you need to go, so you don't need to worry about that. You'll be talked to by an admin about a few things, including figuring out the map and which coach will coach each team. Then you're going to go ahead and hop into the appropriate mumble of your team. The first thing you'll want to do is figure out the approximate experience of your pug team. Real quick before we get started here, guys, I want to go through one by one and figure out where you guys all stand competitive experience-wise, whether that's league experience, pickup games, or newbie mixes, if anything at all. Starting with Citrus.
I've played lobbies before, and I've played some newbie mixes, but that's it.
Okay, Morska.
I've played lobbies and newbie mixes before.
Okay, Oxy.
I've done a lot of lobbies, but I've done a few newbie mixes before, not too many.
Okay, Skippa.
I've played in Iron before, and I regularly play pugs and mixes, and I've played a few lobbies before. That's it.
Okay. Snakeboot.
I played a few lobbies, but I main Highlander. But I'm trying out Sixes for the first time.
Okay, sweet. Where's my toast?
Played a season of Iron, didn't do too well, so I'm not playing this season.
Okay, well,
That's about it.
that's good. We have a lot of new players here. That's what we like to see. After you're somewhat acquainted with your team, you'll explain who you are and what your experience is. That's what we like to see. Tonight, I'm going to be your coach. I'm Kevin Espone. I am an IM Pocket this season. And yeah, we're going to learn some stuff about competitive TF2 today. From here, ask if any of the players need help with the callouts or rollouts on the map. These are the major things you want to go over before the game begins. It's also a good thing to be mentally prepared to answer questions that you wouldn't expect. First of all, before we start, does anybody have any issues with callouts or their rollouts on this map?
I actually do not know the callouts for this map.
Okay.
I have not played a mix on this map.
Okay.
But we should probably switch to the pro version, shouldn't we?
As well, we only play on the maps that are in the game's map rotation. So we're going to just be playing on Granary. If you guys, if anybody doesn't know the callouts on the map, you can hop into Spectator, and I'm going to jump around and show you the callouts. If I could get a scout slot, that'd be awesome. Okay. So here you just have, I mean, it's divided into, all maps are actually like this. They're divided into areas, and then, or they're divided into like where the point is and then areas between the points. So this is your last area. Over here you're going to call like left side and then right side. You'll find that in TF2 a lot of the calls are very intuitive, so that's the upper pipe or the lower pipe. You'll hear different people call it, but you'll usually be able to figure out which is what. And then over here, this is the window. It's the only window. This is more of like a doorway. So you'll call this on lower pipe or something. Their garage, and you say, oh no, there's a soldier in garage, people will think that it's our garage. So be sure to distinguish that, and that's really only a problem on the middle point. But yeah, moving from there, does anybody have any questions? If I missed a spot, if somebody could point that out to me, but I think I covered everything.
I think you're good.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about their rollouts on this map? If a newbie needs help with a rollout, show them the simplest rollout that gets them to mid in a reasonable time. For example, you don't want to tell a demo to do the Badlands drop-down jump. That's something they'd probably need to grind. You can show them this rollout, but then say something along the lines of, this is what you're working towards. Here's what you'll do this game. and show the drop down jump where you drop out of drop down and then sticky jump from the ground. Once you cover those, ask super basic questions about competitive TF2. For example, do you know what a combo and flank are? Medic, do you know how Uber advantages work? Is anyone confused about what the role of their class entails? Things like that. You need to go over the basics of these things if they don't know it yet. If they don't understand these concepts, then your team will essentially be playing down a man. That said, they should have watched the YouTube videos that will be uploaded in the weeks following this video's upload. So the player will have to sit out after the current game. Talk to an admin privately about that. Keep in mind, you will most likely be dealing with people of differing skill levels from pug to pug, and sometimes inside of a single pug. Be sure you're as open to questions as possible. Say things like this. It's okay, these are newbie mixes. Questions are appreciated, questions are expected. And if you have a question about something, odds are at least one other person in the Mumble has a question about something. We're all here to learn, and one of the best ways to learn is to ask questions. From here, you're ready to start your mix. If someone wants to main call, give them some chances to at a few mid-fights and in other situations. Especially if several of your players have a season or two of low UGC, or if you're coaching later at night when mixes are typically more oriented towards slightly more experienced players. Otherwise, you want to be spearheading most, if not all, of the calls. We don't want to teach newbies anything blatantly wrong, and there's often not enough time to countercall a bad call made by a newbie main caller. Okay, guys, you can ready up now. Sorry about that. Is anybody going to try to main call, or is it just going to be me?
I could try.
Okay, go ahead and try in this first mid.
Demo, where are you going?
Oh god, that didn't work. I'm gonna go left.
Okay. We're gonna go left and play kind of aggressive.
I'm gonna go up on the crates. That's the scout.
Yep.
So
I'll play
I'll be
lower
more
then.
aggressive.
Go bomb straight across.
You are? I'm
Alright,
gonna,
there's a scout on
Call
catwalk.
when you're bombing. I'll
Soldier
bomb
on
when
there.
you're
Great.
Doing now.
I
Okay,
died.
I'm
I'm
going.
backing up. Oh, I took it back,
Meds.
my bad.
Or demos hit 100 meds.
Nice
They're
play,
both-
They're
Toast.
both down.
Just stay together. Play around heals.
Scout
Don't let our med
behind.
die.
Let's go
Scout
down.
dead.
Soldier on our med.
Let's
Armin.
close.
He's dead?
Soldier down.
Yeah.
Call your focuses, guys.
Look
Scout
at this
dead.
soldier upper. Got him.
Soldiers down.
Nice
Soldier
job,
dead.
scouts. This is a
They're
really good
nice
cleanup
work.
play.
They're completely done.
I'd say watch this guys more a little bit earlier on the mid scouts. You probably could have saved your medic there, but that was a good play
Yeah.
at the end there. So they're gonna have a slight Uber
Alright,
because
let's-
we killed their medic way earlier than them.
They're gonna spawn forwards.
Be sure you call and what
Is
you
it
do
trap
and
on
what you-
shutter?
Okay, so
Alright.
you guys are probably gonna want to try to take yard, but be ready to back out if you need to.
Okay, so we're
We
gonna
have
do
it
that.
here.
Yard is clear so far.
Yep. Hurry up and get
Okay.
into that
Yes.
then, guys. Nice job. Really good mid.
There's
We're
a
coming into
scout
garage.
in lower launch box.
So keep in mind they have an Uber advantage. So you guys are gonna want to be building.
Is someone watching left side?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Skipper can watch
There's
left
a
side. The other
scout
guys
on
should be
each
building. Yes, build.
Okay.
I would buff
Nobody
for
else
woman.
take spam.
Buff him.
Play safe here as we get this Uber because they know they have a slight ad on us.
They have a stick drop behind shutters.
Scouts in lunchbox.
Really
Yeah.
good spam demo.
Hey,
Scout and soldier in
could I get a
lunchbox.
quick buff? I have crit heals. Thank you.
Can I have an arrow over by left here?
They're pushing in.
Soldier on
side.
right shutter.
Okay, stop building
Arrow.
if they're pushing in. Generally, if they push in, you're gonna want to get heals to the other players to make
Soldier
sure
in
nobody dies.
box.
Okay, so we have now.
Quick
So
buff.
That's
Thank
six
you.
here.
it's our turn to make a move. So we need to either get a pick here or send in a side.
Med pop.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so that's a really good play. So our Uber's gonna
Back
be
up,
better.
back
Just
up, back
don't
up.
be sure you don't
Alright, you
let
can pop.
anybody
drop,
die.
don't drop.
You should pop here. Yeah.
Those scouts
pop.
are pretty hurt.
Nice.
Med down. So demo down.
There's a scout in our yard.
Soldier in RZ.
He's 43 health.
Go ahead and get that cap.
Chased me on 2 health all the way back to.
You guys should get this
spawn.
cap because having this forward spawn is huge here. Nice.
Oh damn.
So it's 3v3
There's a
here. If you get
soldier
another
lot.
pick, you can get in, but you guys actually
And
do
you
have
get
an
ammo.
Uber advantage and spawn advantage here, so you can just play it a little slow. That's what I would
Soldier
recommend doing.
lunch box.
Just wait for them to respawn them.
Okay,
Okay, he's gone.
Let's wait for everybody to respawn.
Okay, let's have
We do
let's
that
have the guy that
info
was
on.
main calling mid, main calling this push.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Sweet.
I'm dead.
Okay.
Soldier's an attic. Fold.
Okay.
We're down one. Try to play kind of passive. They're gonna probably
They
try
might
to
sack
call us
now.
suicide.
Watch
Yeah.
out.
This
There's
soldier
a
upper.
soldier up top.
You guys are gonna want to spread out a little bit. You're all 4 on that point. There you go.
Oh dear, can't make this.
I'm
You
gonna
try to go
start-
upper with this. So
We're
cycle
gonna do
lunchbox
one
mid.
box.
Hurry up.
You guys are gonna lose your ad here in a little bit. It's not a very big one.
Do you recommend going in on it?
I'd say if you go and focus the medic, then yes. That needs to be
Alright,
your
come
goal,
on,
though.
come on, man.
Alright, let's go.
Soldier's behind
There's
me.
Going
Soldier,
in right
soldier,
shutter.
Soldier.
Just pop it,
last
pop
one.
it.
Their heavy's on lower.
You need to
Giant
get that med
flashing.
before it
Go
gets
to the
hit.
medic.
Alright.
The med's not
Reload your
hitting
rockets.
anyone.
Okay, so you guys are probably gonna want to
Soldier's down.
cycle this push and
Oh,
get out.
Focus heavy,
Soldier's
focus
Soldier's
heavy.
Heavy is low. Or 240, I should say.
Heavy took 200 on point.
Med down.
They're gonna have. Okay, nice.
Okay, good play.
I died.
Okay, it's just
Skip it. If you can
Alright,
delay
sure.
second long enough to keep
Scout
those
down.
He
points
has
up,
83 health.
skip it. Yeah, your
Yeah.
goal
Yeah,
here,
good.
skip, is just to delay. Make sure your team gets these spawns.
Oh my
That's
god.
good. Most of your
My
team's
bad.
gonna be
Nice.
spawned up. That's good.
Demo's on 80 health.
So now you guys need to be contesting second. Nice. Good play, guys.
Alright.
Be sure to clean up these
Alright, we
fights.
Soldier
traded,
on
we
point.
traded.
Call what's he's at.
He's weak.
Soldier's
Nice.
down.
dead.
You're gonna.
Okay. So you guys are just gonna want to reset here again. You're gonna have
Swear.
another slight Uber advantage. You
They
actually have a
they're
pick
down.
advantage
In
too.
the back.
Yeah, they're down their demo as well. You guys should try to get in off this.
Okay, let's use this.
I'm up now,
We're
so I'm
at
gonna
40.
be there quick.
Thank you.
Scout took 20. Yeah.
Scout down.
I'm coming out.
Nice march there.
Scout down.
Scout down. Nice.
We can
Go
keep
in.
They lost
pushing
both their
this.
scouts. Let's go in.
Yeah, get in, guys.
Okay. Demo's
focus
on
the
right
demo.
side.
Get some frags quickly.
Demo down.
Demo
Med
down.
down.
Nice.
Sticky up the point demo. Don't worry about frags
50
here.
health on that
Soldier's
soldier.
down.
Nice. Down.
Nice.
They're
guys.
one
Nice
up.
work.
One out.
Nice.
You can see that a huge theme is being positive and supportive. The players will play better if they don't feel stressed about their coach. After each round is over, one of the coaches, the same one every time, needs to pause. During that pause, you should go over things you may not have had time to go over during the round itself, and also restate the most important things.
One up.
Swear.
One out.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice guys.
Good
Good
job.
job.
Okay, that was a
Cool.
really good. That was a really good play. I'm gonna go ahead and pause and explain some stuff though. So our scouts had a really good mid there towards the end, but at the beginning, make sure that you're watching the skies because soldiers, especially on this map, they're gonna be bombing your medic and your demo a lot, and you're gonna try to keep them up as long as possible. It's not expected necessarily for both your medic and demo to be alive, but your goal should be to keep them up as long as you can.
Okay.
Demo, when you're pushing last or when you're pushing anything for the point, really, after you get a couple frags initially and you have really good positioning on them like you did in that last push, I'd recommend that you actually don't try to do more damage to the players, but just deny people from getting on the point. So
Alright.
yeah, if you just like put stickies on the point so your scouts can cap or your soldiers can cap, that's much more valuable than getting individual frags would be. So go ahead and do that. You were doing some really good damage, but that damage actually isn't as important as getting the point there. So
Alright.
always be playing that objective. Other than that, that was good main calling. Like I don't really have much bad stuff to say about the main calling, so good job on that. Other than that, guys, I'm ready to go for the next round, so I'm gonna. Little vertical demo. Make sure your jumps are horizontal. It'll be faster and save you some health as well.
Alright.
I'll go up top with the demo.
I'm going to skip it now.
Scout on their battlements.
Demo's out.
We're a
Demo
little
is
slow.
Nice
down.
play,
Bring
Demo.
some.
That worked.
You guys are gonna want to spam him here.
Let's get aggressive now. I didn't
Oh
make
my
the
god,
jump.
I'm lit.
Kill this soldier,
I'm gonna grab
scouts.
this small pack.
Oh my god, I can't.
Toast,
hit
you
that
should
so
jump
well.
that
Bomb and
soldier
choke.
up there.
Yeah, I'm bombing. Up there.
I think we can just cap it.
Yeah, just spam them out. They're
I
standing
died.
in choke.
Soldier 20. Get out. Get out.
Yeah,
I'm about to choke. I'm about to choke.
If you can.
yeah, just leave. Keep running. Don't turn back, medic. Just run.
Just try to get out.
Okay.
Hot rip.
Did their
Yeah,
med
so
die?
we had a really good start to
Soldier's
that
down.
mid, but we kind of just fell apart there. I'll explain it in
Where's their
between
med? Did their
rounds.
med die?
Uh,
Took a pick.
Okay, So that was just kind of the standard granary, lose the mid in your medic and lose the round kind of thing. The big issue with that was the midpoint, the mid fight. Your roamer got a really early frag on the demo and kind of stuffed out half of the team. But from there, your soldiers needed to be playing height advantage to make sure that stuff couldn't be getting up top. And your scouts needed to be playing and just chipping the stuff that tries to take height advantage. So you'd basically want the only thing they have at that point, the only advantage they have at that point to go for would be height advantage, because they're down players and their health isn't as good, right? So they're gonna want to play that positional advantage. So you need to be sure that you're putting a lot of effort into maintaining that. The positional advantage goes in your favor after you get those frags, or else you're gonna have a hard time. That round and the discussion after it were another example of how to encourage your players properly. I liked X, but you should work on Y is a much more effective way to teach, especially in a group setting, than just you need to fix Y. So always be doing that. Moving on to the topic of more situational things, though. If you're in a situation that warrants an off class, you should say something about it. So one of our scouts should go heavy.
I'm doing
Okay.
it.
If someone asks to off class, you can make the call about whether it's viable or not. Avoid excessive off-classing, for example, heavy or pyro anywhere other than holding last, or something like playing sniper at every chance they get, things like that. If you're in a stalemate situation and your team is holding mid or their second, it's on you to get your team to move and walk them through the process of ending a stalemate.
Like,
Med,
walk
give your
with me.
roamer a full buff, and then your roamer's going to jump in from the
Walk
flank to
with me.
try and buff
Alright,
and try
go
to
back,
bomb
go
the
back.
med.
Go back. Go back.
Yeah, you can go back, Med. Go heal other people.
Alright, bomb. Okay, there's
Okay,
sticks
spam
here.
for your, you're going to want to,
farm.
you can shoot the sticks out of the way. Just knock them away.
Bombing. Med.
Nice drop! That was such a good play, dude. Okay, guys, get in off that. Try not to
Soldier took
Uber.
100.
Play with your heals here. Really. After you finish the game, go through all of your team in Mumble and share the good things they did along with any mistakes they made, both as a whole and as individuals. Okay, guys, so that was pretty good. We ended up winning. Well, you guys are champions.
Oh boy.
So basically, I'm going to go through one by one and explain kind of things that we can improve on, along with things that I liked what you did. Starting with our roamer. So you had some really good bombs and some really good plays, but what I'd like to see you do is like communicate what you're doing more. Like that mid play, I think on the second mid it was, that you jumped in and got like a ton of spam out on them. Like that was really good, but your team didn't necessarily know what to do with it, because the things that you were calling weren't as extreme, I guess, as like the work that you were doing. Like you were kind of destroying that entire side of mid. So it was essentially going to be a 4v6 or a 4v5 battle there. So yeah, just be sure you're communicating on stuff like that. Moving on to our scouts. Our scouts were doing really well, except that our scouts were doing really well at the end of fights, playing the main role of the scout, which is kind of just to clean stuff up, clean frags up, and you guys were doing that really well. But I'd say the one thing that you need to worry about more is the stuff that happens in between cleanups, because you still do have a role, even if you're not necessarily cleaning up. You're going to want to be sure you're denying those jumpers. Just getting those like nice 20-30 damage shots on stuff that's jumping towards you, just being sure that they don't get the momentum they need to make the jumps they want to make. And doing that just makes it so much more powerful as the scout class. Aside from that, like it was really good, and you'll have a chance to ask questions and stuff about specific things, but overall, like I was really happy with how our scouts played. Pocket, you had a few really big plays. I liked the double bombs. I liked the aggression. I'd say there are some mids that you probably would have been better off had you been playing like high ground and being sure that other soldiers didn't kill your med later into the fight. That's kind of the big thing that I noticed. demo, I liked what you were doing. I'd say practice your rollouts. Be sure you're getting that nice low-hanging arch on your rollout.
Yeah.
Because that's going to save you a few seconds on really long maps like Greater, and it's also going to make it a lot easier to fight at mid because you're not going to be quite so hurt. So be sure you're doing that.
All right.
Medic, I'd say that you did really solid. Obviously, the big mistake that you made was due to a script. So be sure you're going over your script and making sure there's nothing wrong with it. Just making sure that it was in fact the pause.
It's all fine. It's basically
Okay.
just a Frankenstein from some other scripts that I had.
Okay. Okay.
It's
So
all fine. It's just that during the pause, I think I hit something that it didn't like.
okay. Other than that, I'd say your positioning was pretty good. There were times when we got forced that maybe it would have been better to just take the risk and not pop. I mean, that's in part an issue with comms. Typically, you don't want to drop ever, but it might have been good to risk that. But that's situation by situation based.
All right.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, how was my main calling?
It was good. As far as Newbie Mix main calling goes, that was really solid. I'd say I could tell that the calls were confident, but I'd say have that like air of confidence. That's something that as a main caller, especially on a team, that you need. You need to be that rock of the team almost, where you don't make mistakes. Like even if what you're calling isn't like the best thing, you need to be confident in it, so that way your team is confident in it. Obviously, this isn't all the critiques given and questions asked in the mix. Just a few examples. Be prepared for more specific questions about situational things. Thank you for watching the Coach's Guide. If you want a version of the guide to go through while you're actually coaching, there's a bulleted version on teamfortress.tv that I will post a link to in the description. If you have any critiques or comments or anything about this video, please feel free to message me, leave a comment on YouTube, or leave a comment on teamfortress.tv. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hold up, I'm getting a phone call. One sec. Hello? Sure.
Nice.
I like the roast beef. Just anything that's the roast beef. Nothing crazy. Just roast beef and cheddar. Thank you.